Hello and welcome to Tarot Tuesday. This is your beginner's guide to reading the tarot. It's a new series that I'll be starting on Tuesdays on my YouTube channel, and it's also the beginning or the introduction to an online course that I am in the process of getting ready for you so you can purchase that later on from my website if you're really interested in learning the tarot. In this series, we'll take a deep dive into this fascinating world of the tarot. 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago, actually, it has changed my life. I was at a crossroad, not knowing which way to turn, and a cousin of mine, cousin Sue, said, "Why don't you go and have a tarot reading?" And I said, "What's that?" It was the furthest from my mind. You can listen to my current series on Unbox the podcast if you want to catch up on the story of how I moved from the career world, the business world, the corporate world into the mystical world, and tarot was the beginning for me. It simply opened up so many doors into so many other areas like mythology, symbology, dream interpretation, numerology, ancient civilizations, dreams, the world of dreams, all of that opened up to me because of my interest in the tarot. I have written so many books on the tarot. You can find these online on your favorite online store, but I will be talking about the tarot in these series. In this series, you will discover what the tarot is, how to use it, what are the meanings of the cards, and it's almost an overview or a comprehensive overview of what the tarot is. You'll discover the history and you will learn how to interpret the tarot in a way that resonates with you. So I hope you join me every Tuesday. That's why it's called Tarot Tuesday. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends who are interested. I also want to remind you that the tarot is not simply a tool for foretelling the future, but it is a tool to transform your life, to put you back in the driver's seat, to allow you to trigger and develop your own intuition, as what has happened with me. And the creative aspect of it, the visuals trigger your intuition, allow your brain to connect information and knowledge in a different way, perhaps, which activates the intuition. And it's a tool that you can have to answer questions when you need answers and insights. So it can be quite self-empowering, actually, if you learn how to do it with integrity and if you allow yourself the time to practice so that you can have a deep connection with your tarot cards. I personally use the Rider-Waite-Smith card. I love it. I've used many, many tarot decks before. You can use whatever you're comfortable with, but I've always come back to the Rider-Waite-Smith. I think because of its classical style, it doesn't impose any specific style, and it just allows my mind to wander off and connect the dots. I also like the colors. They tend to be the solid colors, and it does something to my brain. It really does trigger my intuition. And now, 32 years later, I still look at them and they still trigger images and information and allows me rather to see new information, although I'm quite familiar with those images. They're so intricate. They have so many symbols that are hidden. And if you were to meditate on each card on its own, you would notice more symbols each time you look at them. I also work with them. Sometimes I would put a certain card under my pillow if I wanted the energy of that card, or if I wanted to help me heal or generate a dream. We'll be talking about how to use the tarot cards for meditation, for inducing a dream, and other uses than just telling the future. So remember, my angle is, or this is where I'm introducing the tarot to you from the perspective of the tarot being a self-empowerment and a self-development tool. The Fool card is the very first card in the tarot. You may or may not know that the tarot resembles the regular playing deck card, except it has more cards. So what is known as the pip cards is what is parallel to a normal card playing deck, but the main aspect of the tarot, if you will, are the major cards, and then we have the minor cards. You can use the tarot whichever way you want, but I myself make a distinction. This is how I was taught it. So for me, the major cards reflect major development stages, major happenings in life. And when I do a reading, I always start with the major cards and then I move on to the minor cards, which are just as important, but I see them as allowing us more details on daily basis, how we feel, how we think, how we act, and so on. So I start with the big picture and then I add more details to the picture as I go on. We will also talk about how to conduct a reading, how to formulate a question, and how to interpret the answer of the cards about the question that you've asked for. So grab your favorite deck and join me in this week's video about the introduction to the tarot.